Welcome to Loggers Point. 100 years ago or so, felled trees would be dragged down there. Then teams would strip them down and roll them into the river. Then they'd be bundled up and towed out to the sawmills. The outpost sits on top of the old workers' campsite. Damn, this is bad news. These logs have all the signs of a beetle infestation. Let me see if I can check in with the hunters who must have cut the firewood. I have the number for their satellite phone in the log somewhere. I'll get back to you. I just found the number. I knew I had it here somewhere. I'll give the hunters who stayed here a call and see what they have to say. I'll call you back in a moment after I've landed. No answers from the hunters yet. I'll keep trying. There's an outpost in the forest to your northwest. If you follow the trail, you'll find it. I have a hunch that... Oh, phone's ringing. I'll call you back when I get some answers from these guys about where they cut the wood. Head to the forest outpost in the meantime. I'll bet that's where they were. I had a chat with the hunters who chopped the logs we found at Loggers Point. Turns out that the cabin had been out of firewood, so they'd gone looking for a fallen tree to carve up. You are now in the same forest they were when they found our beetle-infested tree. Hey, I see you're near the forest outpost. Once you get up there, take a look in the cabin. There should be a backpack with some supplies in it. When you find it, just grab the whole pack. That's the one. Once you're done at the outpost, take a look in the surrounding forest. Can you find any fallen trees in that area? Spruce bark beetles are a massive threat to Alaska's forest at the moment. We haven't been hit as badly compared to some other Alaskan state parks. But I think that it may be time for a quarantine. This is the one. Okay. In that pack, you should have a canister of paint and a nozzle attachment. Use them to paint a big pink X on the tree. And let's take a look around to make sure the beetles haven't started to spread. Okay, so once you find a fallen tree, I want you to take a look at its bark. Does it look healthy? If so, it's probably not the tree we're looking for. If you see a spruce in the immediate vicinity of the fallen tree, mark it. And our forestry team will come out and take care of it. If it's untouched, they can just spray it with pesticides to protect it. If it's already infested, then they'll cut it down and haul it away for burning. Great job. I hope we don't need to cut these trees down, but it's a small price to pay to contain the beetles. There we go. Another tree marked. This reminds me of my summer breaks when I was a kid, helping out my dad at work. He was a tree surgeon down in Washington State. I used to resent him for making me go out there and work while my friends played back home. Eventually, those trips also included hunting lessons, and that made them my favorite parts of the summer. That should do. I'll get in touch with the foresters. They can investigate the area and cut down what they need to. I'll make sure that they also pick up the firewood at Loggers Point. Don't want to take any chances. Thanks for taking care of this. It's becoming a full-on phobia of mine that these beetles are going to destroy the forest here. We sprayed pesticides across the western edge of the forest as a preventative measure earlier this month. But any new chemicals in the air, soil, or water make me uneasy. In the same bag that you found the paint, there should be some plastic sample containers. You could bring them out to the weapon. Mudcake is the word we use up here in Alaska. We're going to be grabbing these samples out there. So one of our research teams can test the pesticides to make sure they aren't having any effect on the ecology. This is actually my wife Sandy's idea. She runs the Yukon Valley Nature Center, so she's working closely with a visiting research team. Welcome to Yukon Valley's wetland. The last time I brought both of my daughters here to spot birds, they told me that all the bird spotting in the world was wood smell. Turned out that a bear had left a rotting moose carcass in the summer sun. I decided to spot birds somewhere else, just in case the bear came back for seconds. Watch your footing at the water's edge. It can be easy to slip and fall in. Just fill one of the containers you have with water. Nicely done. First time I was there, I misjudged how stable the edge of a pond was and ended up with one leg deep in the water. I was a rookie at the time, and luckily nobody saw it happen. Can you grab a second sample from a body of water slightly further away from the forest? Pesticides we're using on the forest to prevent beetle infestation are effective, but I still have my doubts about the effects on other wildlife. The flats are one of our most biodiverse regions, so I can't risk introducing anything dangerous into the water or the food chain. Can you take some samples from the water beside the forest first? We sprayed a section of the forest's western edge last month, so I want to know if anything has changed since then. Great. That should do for water samples. Next up, I need you to find me some animal droppings in this region. The muskeg is a hotbed of animal activity, so you should find droppings quite easily. If the pesticide is drifted out to the flat, I want to know if it's making it into the food chain. It's been a month since we sprayed, so there's been plenty of time for the pesticide to get out here. That's what we're looking for. Perfect. Could you find a sample from a different species as well? It's better to grab a larger sample size while you're already there in the field. Alaskan grizzlies are the most intimidating creatures I've ever encountered. The first time I spotted one, I instinctively checked my rifle was loaded, just in case it charged. It was over 200 yards away. That should do it. Now we'll be able to tell if anything larger than a fly is ingesting chemicals that we should be worried about. It's hard work wading through the muskeg, huh? I have a spot where you can drop the samples off, and I can easily pick them up. Oh, I just remembered. I've been speaking with my wife about the work you've been doing, and she mentioned a few tasks that she has on her plate that I think you could help her with. I gave her your number, so expect to hear from her. She's working on some very important studies at the moment. Hang on a second. I'm getting a call. Okay, I'm back. Slight change of plans. Before you drop off the samples, I need you to grab a hatchet from the outpost at the western edge of the flats. We have a bit of a situation out in the northwest corner of the reserve, and you're perfectly placed to take care of it. It looks like storms have weakened the roots of a tree, which is about to collapse onto the train tracks. Let me know when you grab the hatchet. You got the hatchet? Great. I hope our visitors haven't been using it to open their beans. You're gonna need a nice sharp edge. It's small, but it should do the job. There's a lake just to the north of the flats. I'll be flying over it on my way home. If you drop that stuff off there, I can jump out, grab it, and get it to one of our ecological research teams today, instead of you having to walk around with a bag full of droppings and swamp water. samples ready for pickup? Fantastic. I'll be over that way as soon as I can. I really appreciate the assistance. Hunting for droppings and wading into swamp water might not be glamorous or exciting, but it's part of a massive effort to maintain the balance of life out here. It makes a big difference. You ready to head out to the tracks? Just knowing that tree is hanging over the train track is making me anxious. It's a little bit of a hike, but it's worth it to see the rail bridge. Let me know once you've found the tree. With any luck, it won't take you long to clear it out of the way.